Hello everyone, Jody Heath here, coming to you from jodyheath.com. Going to do a quick comparison review since I'm going to be sending back one of these stands today. I want to do a quick comparison review before I send them back. So I run jodyheath.com. It's an internet site that teaches people how to make money online, and I do a lot of YouTube videos, a fair amount of them. And you know, two important things for videos is light and sound. And obviously, I'm not doing the sound so great today, but I wanted to get my lighting situated. So for that, I needed a couple of stands, I needed a couple of lights, and so here we are. So the two comparisons that we'll be doing today is this Ravelli 10-foot air cushioned light stand. And over here, we're going to be reviewing the Fovitec 7-foot 6-inch light stand. It's a spring cushion stand. So I don't have anyone recording me today, so video is going to look a little choppy here and there, but just bear with me and I'll review these two products for you. So when I first unboxed, the first stand I bought was the Ravelli, which is over here on my right. You know, the first thing I noticed when I got it out is, wow, this thing's got a massive footprint. And I work in about a 10-by-8 office, so you know, space is a premium. But let me just show you the footprint on these two different stands. So here's your Fovitec stand. Let's just look at this is at the widest position, and the Fovitec stand, which is a 7-foot-6 stand, has a base. Each base, just an equilateral triangle, so each base is 2 feet 3 inches. And then if you look at this Ravelli stand, the width on this footprint is right at 3 feet 3 inches. Okay, so you know, maybe a foot more, but when you look at 3 bases and all the square footage there, it kind of adds up. Okay, so there's a kind of a side-to-side perspective. And then if you come over here, you can actually close these stands up a little bit. You know, with that, you lose some stability. You know, these things will rock back and forth if it's in a high traffic area, or if you're shooting on a set somewhere in public. You know, obviously you're going to want this wider base. But if you're trying to work in a smaller area, you can squeeze them up a bit. So I have these two stands now on the narrowest setting you can put them at as far as the footprint. And let's see, the Fovitec is going to be at 1 foot about 5 inches, and the Ravelli is going to be at 2 foot 1 inch. Okay, for each base. And I'll give you a side-to-side perspective here. So you know, you can close them up a good bit. The Ravelli, of course, is going to be a lot more stable, even on the narrowest setting. Whereas the Fovitec is just a smaller, you know, footprint, thinner stand. It's going to be a little bit easier to tip over. Okay, and you know, these lights are not the most expensive, but they're not cheap, so you want to keep them, you want to protect them the best you can. The reason these stands don't really go much narrower is the way the bracing system is. So the middle brace is pretty much equal with the bottom of each leg. The legs come down a little bit further, but if you were to squeeze this up anymore, this middle part would be hitting the floor and it would just wobble. So there is a way to actually make these more narrow. So you can actually, if you go past the widest point, how they're intended to be, you can actually fold it down further, and yeah, you can get a pretty narrow stance. And then you tighten it up, but the problem is there's no bracing here. So if you put a lot of weight on here, you're going to see this is going to bend, and it's going to break on you. And it's even more pronounced in that smaller stand. So the way these are designed is to have your bracing. Let's see if I can get it back down. Yep. You want to have this below the midway point where it's actually pointing down a little bit, and then you can go as low as you want. And then of course, if you go too low, then you're just wobbling back and forth. So you want to spread it out just enough where this thing is not touching, and that's really your narrowest usable. And this comes with a carrying case. The carrying case for the Fovitec stands, I actually ordered these together. They sent one case, Doesn't have a divider or anything, so they're going to get pretty much banged up if you don't put some kind of cloth in between them. For the Ravelli stands, each stand got its own case, so they're pretty good if you're going to be traveling with them. Each stand has a lug for you can set a light on it, and I'll show you how that works here. Let's see here. So most of these lights, the softbox lights and these LED lights, they all just mount on a little lug, and then of course you can tighten this down right there. The difference is the Fovitec stand only has a 1/4 inch lug. Let me show you the difference here. So if you're looking at since I have the light attached to it already, I'll just show you. So the Fovitec has a lug just like this. It's a quarter inch lug, and you're kind of stuck with that. So you can hook like a camera to it, standard mount camera to it, whatever. You can hook just about any of these lights, the softbox lights, or the LED lights. The good thing about the Ravelli stand, it's got a reversible lug. So let me see if I can get that in the camera frame. You can just switch this over, and it's got a reversible lug. I think it's a 3/8 thread. And of course, if you have the Fovitec where you just have the 1/4 inch one, you can get an adapter for like less than $5 or $10. This kind of nice that it's reversible, and for some applications you could even mount this in the side, which I don't know if you would use that for a strobe or something. There's some use for having it mounted to the side like that. Alright, so let's talk about the cushioning of these stands, which was actually probably a bit of a disappointment with both stands. And don't get me wrong, these are cheap stands. These are not expensive, ever meant to be high quality stands. The Ravelli stand, the bigger one, and it's built like a tank. It's about $35 a piece for the stands. This the Fovitec stand, it's right at about $20 a piece. So they're cheap stands. They're not meant to last forever, but they both claim to be either air cushioning for the Ravelli or spring cushioning, shock absorption for the Fovitec. And the whole point is, if you have a heavy light up here and you crank these things up, the idea is you don't want your light to slam down when you back off this thing. And the thing is, it tends to slam down too fast. And if I just let go of this, it's gonna crash down. It's gonna create more shock than I want this light to have. And one stand actually was a lot better than the other. It actually has a pretty good slow drift. The air shock is a little better, so it may have been a quality control thing there. But on either stand, this upper section here, if you just let it go, it goes down really fast. You really have to catch it, or it's going to slam down. Okay, so what you got to think about is, if you got small kids, are they going to be holding this thing? Or are they going to let it fall and crash down and ruin your lights? So or your employees, whoever it is, you just got to be careful. If you go cheap on these stands, just know that these advertised spring loading or air cushion shocks, may not do the job. Okay. So that was the air cushion one. Over here on the Fovitec, I can kind of demonstrate the spring cushioning. And I'm just going to keep my hand here because I don't trust it, and you'll see why. See how fast it drops? And that's supposed to be a spring cushion stand. So, in my opinion, the cushioning, it's a little bit better on the Ravelli heavy built stand. It's almost useless on the Fovitec stand. So, don't trust it, don't rely on it. Okay? So, what are we going to do? Alright? Well, believe it or not, I'm going to keep the cheaper stands because here's the thing. I'm working in a small office. I need the smallest footprint I can have. Don't have a lot of traffic. Don't have a lot of kids messing with my stuff. And I don't worry about someone else breaking it but me. So, I may regret this later, but I'm going to go with the Fovitec, lighter weight stand. It's $20 a piece. They're not going to last forever, I know that. But they have a smaller footprint. And that's what I really want. As far as the air cushioning versus the spring cushioning, I mean, at this price point, I don't think either one of them are going to be that reliable. If someone knows of one that is, you know, I'd be happy to hear about it, but you just can't expect, you know, top quality stuff when you're spending 20 or 35 bucks worth, you know, per stand. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send these Ravellis back and keep these. So if you're looking for a cheap stand for a cheap price, no pun intended, everything is cheap here. I would say go ahead and you can get either one of these. You know, if you're working on a live set, you have a lot of traffic. If you have a lot of traffic in your office, you know, different people coming in and out, I would hesitate to get you know, the Fovitec and keep it on this narrowest, you know, setting, because it's going to get tipped over. Someone's going to nudge it, you know. Let me get this other one now. With the Fovitec on this widest setting, now it's a lot more stable, you know. But at that point, I would, if you're gonna keep it this wide, I would probably just go ahead and get the Ravelli. If you have enough room for it, I would get the Ravelli. So, you know, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna later on I'm gonna do a review on these lights here. You know, I can actually compare these. These are newer 160. Newer 660 LED lights, and they have like a high CRI, which makes colors look accurate, and they're dimmable, they're bi-color. You have the yellow light, the white light. So I'm gonna do a review later on these, but I actually compared these to a softbox. And keep in mind, if you had a softbox on these, you know, the spring loading, the spring cushioning, the air cushioning is going to even be more dramatic. These are pretty light. They don't weigh very much, in other words. So I'll do a review on these later on, but for the money, you can't go wrong with these lights. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of links. I'm going to put a link to these Ravelli stands. If you click on the Show More button below this video, there's going to be an Amazon link to this Ravelli stand. There's going to be a link to this Fovitec stand. Also going to put a link to these newer 660 LED lights, which you really kind of, I mean, actually, out of all these products I'm looking at, I'm mostly impressed with these lights here. So I hope this answered your questions. Feel free to post any more questions below this video. And once again, just click on the Show More button below this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. All right. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.